Welcome in. Just Kings coming up next.
Welcome everyone into a Just Kings podcast. Here to recap the Knights game.
Yeah, 4-2 win over the Knights.
What a win!
We can win ball games. It's crazy. Kings can win.
What's a ball game?
We can win a puck game. We can win a damn hockey game. It's pretty exciting, pretty ecstatic.
There's so much to talk about this game, so let's get right into it, man.
So I mean, we suffocated the neutral zone, which was absolutely crazy. Like, well, not crazy, but to actually see the Kings do that when that was like our identity last year, and that's what we were really good at. We were really hard to play against. We got shots on goal, and
Limited theirs.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we did.
Finally saw that 1-3-1 really work, and I mean,
yeah,
just gotta keep.
It was just
up.
clogged the whole night. Like they were, you saw them dumping and chasing a lot.
Especially in the third period, they dumped a lot there.
Yeah. That was the difference in the game, though, right there.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it was kind of brutal to watch for them because, but that's one of the things we talked about last potty. I think, was that getting to that 1-3-1, and when it's on, like the Kings are nasty, and when we're a little off, like teams are just taking advantage of us.
Yeah, because I mean,
so
with that, I mean, I don't know if you watched it today, and we were a little behind on the podcast, but I watched the Winter Classic today, and the Bruins looked terrible today because they couldn't get their breakout passes at all going. They looked like the Kings, honestly. They couldn't break out of their own zone, and they couldn't go tape to tape, and just having that defense that can stop those breakouts, especially in their defensive zone or in their attacking zone, if we can stop breakouts there, we just get so much better because we cause chaos down there, and we thrive on that. So yeah.
And honestly, I don't know if we're probably not talking about their goals. One of their goals, power play goal, just couldn't get out of the zone. We got tired. And then their other one, Copley makes another huge save, and they just get a lucky rebound. And that's hockey, yeah, but I felt like it was pretty dominant win by the Kings. I mean, that was a lucky goal. Their second goal especially was super lucky. So
yeah, I didn't feel like the Knights had anything going the whole day, so that was nice to see.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Viktor Arvidsson. We're going to talk about him for a little bit. We're going to talk about the impact that he has on the Kings, anybody that he plays with. And I know we're going to talk about this in a later podcast as well because he does a lot better, so we won't talk about the assists now. But, I mean, Arvidsson just makes anybody that he's playing with so much better. Yeah. Like, that second line, when last year when it was more Danault and Arvidsson, that line took off because of Danault and Arvidsson had that. I mean, all three of them had chemistry, but especially Danault and Arvidsson, and then Moore was there, and Moore is not a second liner. He is not a good player, but with Danault and Arvidsson, he is. Like, it's just crazy. Think about the Kings. If we didn't have Danault and Arvidsson, we would be screwed.
Oh yeah,
like
both of them are getting I think one of the best deals the Kings have ever made was Danault. But that's another point.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer for us, and 13 goals was his season high before he came to us. He already has 13 this year, and we're halfway through.
Exactly. But I mean, Arvidsson, like, you just watch him play. He's one of those guys. He's flashy, yeah, but dude, he's been making some unreal passes. Like, he's a playmaker, straight up. And when did he go to the third line? Was it that game?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, he went down on the third line in the Knights game.
And then that line was buzzing too.
Just
like, bro,
wherever he is, they're good. Yeah, he just elevates everybody else around him, which is great to see, and we need that.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know. He continues to impress. Maybe he's got a little bit of that dad strength coming in.
Oh yeah,
that's why he's playing good.
That's why he ran. I forgot what game it was, but that's why he ran down the tunnel. He had to call his wife, make sure his kid was doing all right, and then he was back in the game.
Totally. But yeah, it's good. It's fun to watch, and I think maybe we'll talk about it later. So the problems with our lines.
Yes.
Where to put everyone, and that's a great problem to have. So.
Yeah. All right, so going up on our next point now, Edler and Walker. They have been playing I mean, you know, me and you make fun of our defensemen a lot, and it's
Yeah, we
probably
were
well
shitting on
deserved. But
a lot.
Edler
Yeah.
and Walker are starting to play good hockey. I mean,
Veteran presence, man.
yeah, that's what we need. I mean, we don't need them to be the guys that are going to eat up 20 minutes anymore. We just need them to
No.
go out there and give us a solid 15, 16 minutes, block a couple shots in power play. And that's something I did notice a lot more is Edler is starting to block more shots. Before, I think
Yeah.
it was if he's in that lane, he'll just stand there and take it. But now he is physically like getting into lane and then going onto a knee to block it,
I
which
think
I think is
you
great.
know what I think it is. Yeah, last year he got injured. I think he still wasn't fully himself until about now. And now that he's blocking shots, that's like him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's healthy again. He's fully like okay with blocking shots. He's not worried about getting hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and thus he's playing better hockey.
Yeah, and I also think it's something that Faust said that like I thought was, oh, that's pretty accurate. I mean, compared to where he is now to when he was in his prime, the game has sped up a lot. I mean, he started playing in 2003, 2004. I mean, he started playing then, and now everybody's fast skater, faster than him 100%. So now he's having to play smarter where he can't use his speed anymore. He has to think ahead and he has to be in those lanes to start with. So he's starting to
Yeah,
learn how to play his way, which I think is also him coming around now, which is good.
yeah, definitely,
All right.
definitely. It's good comp. I want to add
Mm-hmm.
one more part. It's good comp. Obviously Spence is down in the with Ontario right now. Um, but let's just say, you're in Todd McClellan shoes. You see Edler Walker playing bad. You're not going to waste time. You're going to call Spence, get his ass right up,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have a good competition. What is needed,
Yeah.
and I think he somebody asked him about like competition, and he said he realized the competition, but he also said that's a good thing for the Kings.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah,
All right. Blake freaking Lizotte, man. Third line, 3C from old Blake Lizotte. Love to see it. One, he's been the best player on the Kings in like the past since our point streak started. So he's amazing up there. But I know he's amazing right now. I'm looking at this long term now. This isn't like short term. Like for now, he's our third line center for sure. Like you don't want to take that away from him. But long term, does Blake Lizotte have a role on the Kings? I mean, think about how
absolutely.
many centers we have coming up. We have Turcotte, Byfield, Kapari, and then you also going to have Danault and Kopi for the last couple of years of their. Well, Danault's going to be around longer. He'll probably be our top line center for a while, but you're going to have Kopi and Danault still.
I mean, we're probably not talking too long term, but
Yeah, but that's also, and you also have Jad who can play, who's a center at heart, and that's where he's raised, but now he's sliding over the wing. And we'll talk about
he
Byfield here in a second, but yeah, what do you see? Where do you see Blake Lizotte in a couple years?
he has 1 year after this, right?
Lizotte?
Yeah,
I
year
believe
one
so.
of 2 year contract.
Yeah.
So no, I don't see his. Obviously, not. There's no room for it.
Hmm.
I mean, you're
Or is
talking
there?
about all these. No, no,
You're not. You don't see him as a fourth line center in a couple years from now on the Kings, being that guy where he's gonna be grinding every single game. He comes in, you know what you're gonna get from him, and he's the standard for all the rookies coming up.
no. I mean,
Really?
I see what you're saying, but you just named 4, 5, 6 potential centers that are way better than him,
Okay.
and he's in his prime right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you do want to have. Well, obviously, you want Danault's locked.
Mm-hmm.
Byfield. That we're talking about a second overall pick. That's got to be a lock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you got Kupari, who showed signs. He's not on Blake Lazotte's level. Nowhere near right now. He's close,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still young.
Keel Thomas
So you
as
got
well.
him.
Forgot about that one. He's hurt
You
this
got
year,
Keel
but
Thomas.
mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be. And then Turcotte.
Turcotte's
Like,
starting to turn it up as well. He's got a couple goals in the last couple games, so
we're talking. He's just not that guy that's like. I don't know. Let's say all these guys do pan out, which is very unlikely
mm-hmm.
because that's just not how it goes. Then no, absolutely not. There's no room. But let's
Mm-hmm.
say Byfield, maybe Kupari, kind of they pan out. I still don't know. I still think we could get a better center than Blake Lizotte, and we can get one / might need one. And I'm forgetting about Kopi.
Yeah, but then you look at like what he's done with better line mates now. Like
Yeah,
he's doing good. Like
it's
I know
interesting.
we're talking Arvidsson on his line, so obviously he's gonna get a little bit better. But he's on track for a career year right now because he's playing with Velarde and Arvidsson for these last
Yeah,
couple
and
games.
how do you just look at that and just say, we'll
Yeah,
smell
so
you?
like
Yeah, you
I mean
can.
you can't blame him when he's down on the fourth line with Lemieux and
Oh, he's
Kaliev.
an amazing fourth liner though.
Yeah, I
He's a
know.
playoff fourth liner.
Exactly. So you're telling me that I can see Blake Lizotte winning a Stanley Cup with the Kings, and then after that he's probably not going to be back. But I can see us signing him again to another 2 year, 2.5, maybe 3 million deal for 2 years.
Three for 2 years, like 1.5 each.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I could see
yeah.
that.
I mean that's about what he's on right now, so it'd be a little bit more of a raise for him. But
Probably 1.8. Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, no, totally.
I mean at least with him you're not banking on a rookie to come up
That's the
here
thing
and
though.
be ready for it.
That's the thing. It's that it's so hard to tell. Obviously, I'm dreaming. My dream: Kupari, Byfield, Turcotte. All three of them are just dogs.
Hmm.
How realistic that is?
Well, if
Probably not.
Turcotte's history of getting hurt, probably not gonna
Probably not.
happen.
And we've seen Byfield, mind you, he's still 20 or whatever.
Hmm.
But you never know with these prospects. But what you have here is a NHL ready and an NHL proven guy.
Yeah, so I mean, even
So
if we're talking with my deal, 3 years out, that will still have Lizotte, that all of our prospects will be just about entering their prime, 23, 24, 25 in that range, and
yeah,
we'll still have them there, hopefully not banking, but banking on our prospects being NHL ready.
Ugh, it's hard to tell.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, glad I'm not a GM,
Figure
so
Kopi's the third line by then.
he has to be
Um,
by then. He's not gonna
Hopefully
be. He's not
Byfield's
gonna be
ready to
getting
pick it
paid
up.
10 million. I'm gonna tell you that much.
No, he's slow.
Jesus.
But that's besides the point. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's a good question, man.
Next point, and I want to talk a little bit about this, and then you can give me your opinion. Are we
Yeah.
going to be buyers at the deadline this year? Okay, there's huge, lots of talk about Jacob Chikrin from
Yeah,
the
chicken, right?
Arizona
Yeah. Yeah.
and forwards, goaltending. Okay, so I just want to say, if we get Jacob Chikrin, what does that solve for us? What does that solve?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Does it solve
Oh,
anything for us?
it
What?
solves our left defense problem, which I look at our minors. I'm not necessarily bought in on Toby Bjornfoot or Jake Moverari saving the day. We
Okay,
low
but
key need a left
but
defense.
do we
A left,
need do we need another offensive defenseman that's going to cause
no,
more problems for his Sean Dursey is going to be his partner probably.
no,
That's
no.
going to
You're
be
right.
yeah. So I don't think
Plus,
we don't need pieces. I think in my opinion, maybe a goaltender if Copley starts sucking, but what pieces do we need compared us to the Bruins? What can make us better to beat the Bruins in a
I mean, you're
7 game
talking about
series?
the best team in the league.
Exactly. Like what? Okay, they have a
But we can
one
beat
A,
them.
1B for goalies. That's what we don't have. So maybe goaltending. But
Yeah,
in a
but
playoff
we did have
series,
that last year.
though, it's going to be one goalie. Doesn't matter.
It's too hot. Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. I want Patrick Kane.
There's
Do we
okay.
need
So
him?
now my next point of this, one thing that I think we need when we were ready to be a Stanley Cup contender, which I don't. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to make the Stanley Cups this year, but I'm not expecting us to win the cup this year. I'm expecting us to make
Yeah.
the playoffs, get a little bit further than we did last year. But
Oh,
maybe next year we trade for a veteran third liner or fourth liner. Okay, I'm gonna bring this out. Taylor Hall on the Bruins. That
yeah.
third line with that veteran presence on there, like we could use that. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. Okay, I know Pat Maroon's locked up, but imagine Pat Maroon with Velarde and Kaliev or some form like that, having that veteran presence with prospects or rookies in the playoffs. That's what you're gonna need in a couple of years.
I mean,
But
yeah, but you also just said, how about this? Kopi with 2 kids. There's your veteran presence. Now
yes,
go now.
but Do you really see us paying $10 million for a third liner next year? No.
Oh no, not next year. I'm saying 2 years from now.
I think next year we're gonna be cup contenders.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're not wrong.
So I mean, this is I mean, we don't need it, but if you look at all like the good teams that have won, they've had veteran presences somewhere in their lineup that's not their best top 6 guys.
You know what's gonna happen? And you and me can like rocket shove this whole time talking about this, about how we're gonna get some dog, aka Patrick Kane, which won't happen.
He's slowing down.
We're gonna get fucking Oli Mata, or some bullshit like that, and it's gonna be amazing. And we're gonna get a left-handed defenseman.
Oli Mata was cracked at the end of the year last year, though, and we just let him walk.
They played good.
Yeah.
I know. We're gonna get a defensive defenseman, but you know that.
You can see those guys. They want to win, and you can see that in how they play. Like Oli Mata diving headfirst to block a puck. How crazy do you have to be to dive headfirst in front of a slap shot? Like you got to be mental.
You and I both know damn well that Rob Blake isn't going to trade his prospects, and we're going to sign a defensive defenseman for cheap, and they'll find something, and they'll make use of it.
Which I am on board for, and we give away one of our draft picks because we don't need draft picks at this point. For what?
No, our window is like, it's been set.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, our draft picks won't pan out for another 7 years, and by then we might not be in the cup contention anymore. So we don't need these draft picks that we have anymore. So might as well trade them away, get something good out of it.
Absolutely. That's the good part of a rebuild.
Mm-hmm. All right, goalie impact, and I know this is probably something that we're going to be talking about the next 20 podcasts that we do, but Copley, like, nothing against Quick. I mean, love the guy. Brought us 2 Stanley Cups. I mean, he was the guy. But
he's the best American goalie.
Yeah, for some reason though, the team just doesn't play good in front of him lately. Like for whatever reason, the team doesn't win with Jonathan Quick. I'm not saying that it's 100% his fault. There's some saves that I think he could have made. Some are absolute snipes that no goalie has a chance at unless you're Vasilevsky.
Or Copley.
Pretty much, yeah. But they just don't play good in front. Like it's not Quick's fault when he has 5 2-on-1s to deal with every single game, and he saves 4 of them, and then he lets one of them in, and we're like, oh my god, Quick, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
the team has to do better in front of him before we can start blaming Quick for all this.
You know what it is? It's a lack of confidence in your goalie. Do you remember Copley's first game? The team was kind of getting a feel for him. I know it was a long time ago. But we didn't like, what's it called? We didn't have that confidence in him. And once we started to get that confidence in Copley, our defense started playing better.
Well, we have that confidence because he normally stays in front of the net compared to behind it. So
yeah, which that helps. But right now, I don't think the defense has any confidence in Quick. Therefore, they're playing too hard / overcommitting, leading to the other teams scoring a lot more. You need confidence in your goalie. That's the flat out.
I mean,
I don't know what you got on that.
Copley, he had that huge save on the Knights breakaway late in the game. Could have taken the lead or tied it up. I forgot. But making that, it's not just Copley making saves. It's also the timely saves that he has to make. And I know the broadcasters have talked about this a lot. The Kings never really have gotten timely saves in the last year. And now we're starting to get them. And you can see on our win streak what happens.
Yeah, that's why we're winning games by 1 goal.
Mm-hmm. Those timely saves.
But that's what it takes to be in contention for the Stanley Cup, but also top of your division. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been good to watch Cop. We'll see how he does.
All right, moving on to Quinn Byfield. In this game, he was playing center on the 4th line. So he had 12 shifts, 8 minutes 54 seconds time on ice. 2 block shots, and 25% face-off percentage. 25. Okay. So we know that he went down to work on his defense face-offs and having a consistent offensive production. And don't get me wrong, he looked a lot better on defense. Like, he had good back check. He was using his body, getting inside position, so he looked a lot better on defense. Offense, he didn't take a single shot, though.
He was lost a little bit. He had the jitters. He looked like shit, bro. He looked like shit.
I mean, it doesn't help when you're coming back to play against the Knights first game, so.
No, not at all. But he also made them look like, shit, is that Wayne Gretzky?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he shit the bed, bro.
So something I want to bring up as well. So Gabe Vilardi, drafted in 2017. He's now having his, we'll call it a breakout season in 2022. Yeah. So that took him 5 years to pan out. Byfield was drafted in 2020. He's 20 years old and he's only been playing in like professional hockey for 2 years. So give him another 3 years. Don't panic with him. Be patient. Even if he has to go down to the AHL to get the professional level playing experience. And
plus,
I think
in our system.
Yeah, and I think Kings fans should be okay with having growing pains with Quinton Byfield in the NHL level as long as we're still winning and as long as we're still competitive. And I mean, him being up there on the fourth line, it wasn't like a crutch or anything. He played good defense, and I mean, it would have been nice to have some offensive production from him, but you can't really ask for much more than good defense from a fourth line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not worried about him or sending him down to the AHL if we're winning, but if he starts making costly mistakes and it gets to a point where he's losing us games and not doing anything beneficial, then yeah, you got to send him down. But I think right now it's a great experience for him.
Yeah,
you're playing great hockey. You're playing, and you're watching a team compete to make the playoffs. This is what he needs, and he'll keep getting better. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah. All right, game management against the Knights. Holy crap, we actually were good in game management for one goddamn game this whole season for 60 minutes. Holy crap, we had good game management. Sean Durzi. And this is, I'm like, yes. So he iced the puck. Normally, I'd be like, yeah, you suck, bro. Stop icing the puck. But he had two defenders closing in on him. He's on his weak side, and he realizes he has no pass to make. Gets it out of the zone, ices it. But that's good. You give yourself a chance to win a faceoff, get a breakout, instead of coughing up the puck and having a 3-on-1. So, good game management. We slowed down the game when we needed to. We speeded it up. Kupari on the back check as well.
I mean, he was flat out one of the. I'll talk about him later, probably. But dude, he was so noticeable. He just had the game. He looked sick.
Yeah. One thing. Bad thing, though, from the game management side, Lemieux, he has to be more disciplined, especially as an enforcer. He has to be more north-south, not being so concerned about other stuff. And with his reputation, any small thing is going to go on him. It's not going to go on some guy that nobody knows in the league, but yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, so one thing that I will say on their breakouts, and I know this isn't really game management, but we'll throw it in there, like, they're just a lot calmer on their breakouts. Like, they weren't rushing it. They took their time, looked for what they had, and then made a pass. Even if it was a 5-foot pass, they still made, like, the right play. And it showed, like, we were getting out of the zone efficiently. So, it was nice to see.
Yeah, just no rush. No need to, like, play super tight, super nervous. It was good.
All right, so just real quick weird fact is that we're in the same spot in the calendar that we were last year when we put the Danault, Arvidsson, and Moore line together, and then we started taking off and getting more points. And then if you look at like the teams that we've beaten so far when we haven't been playing good hockey consistently, we've beaten the Bruins, Knights, Flames, Oilers. I mean, we've beaten the best of the best, and we just need to be consistent with it. I mean, there's nothing more good to it. And we're also there in tight games as well, and also comebacks. So I mean, it's pretty sick to see, especially that Bruins game. Totally. That was electric. All right.
Yep.
Todd McClellan.
Yeah.
He's getting people to buy in now. They're buying into the structure. They're buying into needing to block shots. And
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the game management.
I don't know what kind of idiot would say to fire Todd.
Honestly, dude. Terrible take.
I mean, yeah, he wins games. Yeah. I don't know who said that. I think it was you.
Yeah.
But,
I'll put the clip of you saying we need to fire Todd McClellan over this. So you're welcome.
I don't remember. I don't recall, but yeah, guys are blocking shots. Guys are buying into that structure, that 1-3-1 that Toddy wants to do. Todd Father, Todd Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Todd could get any nickname he wants if he's winning games. Big D Todd, anything.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
You should throw the.
what is a coach really supposed to do after that Kraken game with 17 goals, or after the Flames game where it's a 7-6 game? Like what?
He has to go like this. Hey Rob, that's it.
like,
Dude, I stared at my ceiling that night. I think I was like, wow, I actually don't understand what the fudge I just watched.
you're just along for the ride at that point.
And then Cal comes in, and I'm like, what the shit? But hey,
Sure.
apparently they know they had Phoenix Goatley just sitting there. Sure.
But yeah, no, I think that wraps it up from the Knights game. Big stretch of games coming up. Opportunity to separate from our division, so be fun to see. But yeah. Can't give goal predictions because we're actually who scored the first goal in the Avs game, bro. We can predict it and look like geniuses.
That's bogus.
But yeah. All right. Well, got anything else?
No. Preach the view.
Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.